We want to specifically take some time to address identifying and reporting childhood sexual abuse. Preventing child sexual abuse starts with education. That means learning to identify warning signs to communicate with kids about this challenging topic, and to take action, whether minimizing opportunities for abuse, responding to disclosure from children, and reporting it when suspected. Family resource staff, teachers, and other professionals are mandated reporters.
Oftentimes, abuse happens and children don't speak up. If you don't talk about it with the children, they are not going to talk about it at all. They can keep it as a secret or maybe not even know that the abuse is happening. Caregivers, parents, adults that do talk about safety with their children first, the children are more likely to speak up and say something. Starting the conversation about a healthy relationship with the child looks like telling them first what a safe relationship is. So talking to the child about consent, reminding the child that they have autonomy over their body. A safe relationship is a comfortable relationship. You don't get what's called like the uh-oh feeling, and the uh-oh feeling shows up in your body if someone does something to you that you don't like or something that makes you feel uncomfortable. It starts way before the initial disclosure happens. Having communication with them often, so asking them, what did you do at school today? And then actually listening to what they did. Ask follow-up questions. How was math class? Did you play with your friend today? Get to know their friends. Children usually are not lying if they tell you that someone has broken a safety rule. Listen to them. Let them speak and tell you what happened. And then after that, it's important that you call the appropriate people. So whether it's Child Protective Services or 911 to get some help. The healing process for everyone is different. A child may regress back to certain behaviors. A child may seek out attention in ways that maybe they didn't before. Also, the healing process may look like a child wanting to just be around the person that they trust a lot. If a child does bring up any behavior, whether it's different or new, it's also a great idea to have them talk with someone like a therapist to work out their feelings.
The way one would go about recognizing if child abuse is occurring is really contingent on the type of abuse. There are 4 types of reportable child abuse. There's physical, sexual, neglect, and emotional. Out of those 4 forms of child abuse, emotional is by far the hardest to identify. The other 3, there are very tangible indicators. With emotional abuse, it's largely internal and usually takes a parent or a provider working with the child for an extended period of time to have suspicions of emotional abuse. With physical abuse, what child welfare looks for are there physical traumas left as a result. With sexual abuse, the indicators can be regressive behaviors in children. Some indicators for adults are excessive offers of help with children, trying to get alone time with children. And then with neglect, it's largely about whether or not it's circumstantial versus choice. What child welfare is assessing is the child's safety versus their risk. And if the risk outweighs the safety, then child welfare usually gets involved. If a parent suspects that there's abuse happening, the first thing I would do is believe the child. If it's a disclosure, let the child know that you believe them. That can go a long way. Thank the child for being open about what's happening with them. I would also, as much as possible, try to remain calm as a clear next step. Report it to whoever is involved. If it happens, for instance, at a school, I would report it to their admin staff and report it to child welfare. We're talking about traumas, right? And the more we do not address the traumas, the more the trauma festers and contributes to negative health outcomes of the child. And a lot of what we're talking about is the transmission of intergenerational trauma. And so if you can disrupt that and cause healing or make space for healing, then it's less likely for that intergenerational trauma to transmit to future generations.